Do you know what is the biggest mistake that most of the startups do at their early stage? If you want to find out, let's talk about it. I have worked in around like what 2 3 early startups, and if I count freelance projects like small client projects and part times and all of those things, then I have worked around like 7 to 8 clients who are early startups by now. Some have become really very successful in their journey, and some have already shut down. Some are not so successful. The common thing that stayed and that I have observed in all of the startups is a single mistake that they do in their early stage that determines where their actual trajectory is going, where their future is heading. I won't say like every single time, but most of the time, this is the factor that most of the time determines what your future is gonna be. The startup's future is gonna be, and that is what is your mentality when it comes to getting things done. What do I mean by that? Most of the time, so let me give you two different examples: startup A, startup B. Startup A is the example that will grow and be successful, and startup B is very average. Okay, so keep that in mind. What I have seen startup A do, like category startup A, like that category of startups, they achieve their work while making sure that who are working for them also achieves their dream. So let's say you are startup A and you have 10 employees. The startup that is going to succeed in the future, that is gonna see a lot of bigger growth and what can I say, very high number of usage, or what can I say, what is the term, exponential growth. They have always valued the employees, they have always uh, treated their employees really well. But what I have seen in startup B, category startup B, is they do not care about their employees so much because they think that as long as they are getting things done, it is fine. What do I mean by that is most of the time I have seen employees in category B, they are either not getting paid well, they are not treated well, or they are asked to follow commands blindly. This is also something which is like really bothers me a lot of time. Like right now, previously I just stayed quiet, tried to give my opinion, got shut down by my seniors or managers, stayed quiet and passed that phase. But right now I am in a different situation. Most of the startups who succeed in their journey, or most of the startups who get successful and become really massive, value the feedbacks from their own employees. Because think about it, we are the one who are developing the product. We have a really good understanding also that how the user is going to use it, because we can see like, okay, if it is not useful to us, if we are not the one who is feeling proud about developing this product, then how will the user feel? That is a common thing, that is a very like what can I say, easy thing to determine, right, from a developer perspective. So anytime a developer comes or a designer comes or anybody, I'm not just saying programming factory, it can be anybody in your company who is developing that product or who is working in your core part of the product. If they come and they say, they give you a feedback that, sir, I have used this thing, or I don't think this is gonna work, this we can do better, and you immediately shut them down, saying they don't know anything about business, or they don't care, or don't lecture me or anything like that, that simply means you are not in a state where you can take constructive criticism. You are in a simply state of denial, and that only means disaster in the long run. That's it. Small startups, like the ones who do not succeed in the long run, they do this thing a lot. Like they only care about, okay, I am paying you X, I need to make sure that I get 2x or 3x from the client. That's it. If But what most of the successful startups they do is, okay, I'll make sure that I don't hire 10 engineers or 20 engineers or whatever it is. I'll make sure that I hire only 5 engineers. Those 5 engineers will be of really good quality, they will know what they're doing, they will be knowledgeable and everything. But at the same time, I will make sure that the way those 5 engineers are treated, both in terms of dignity, both in terms of how they are respected in the company, and also salary and everything. That is justified for the work they are doing. And 9 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times, that category of startup sees a success in their journey like really soon. Like the users start blowing up, because think about it, if you are valuing your own employees, they also start valuing their company, they also put everything in their company. Like, why won't I? Think about it. If the company where I am working, I can see that okay, this company is not making a lot of profit, but the company is making sure that even if they are keeping a very marginal profit, they are still treating me well. I will make sure to give 200%, 300% of my own effort and make that startup a very big success. That's how most of the startups, even if you look at big products, for example, I don't know the exact numbers, I don't remember the exact numbers, but WhatsApp and what we say that, Grow or Zerodha, I don't remember. WhatsApp, just the messaging app that everybody knows, and it was either Grow or Zerodha, I don't remember the financial app. They have a very core amount of engineers who are like very limited. It's what, 20 or 30 engineers who are managing millions and billions of users. So just think about it. I'm not saying that that's the way everybody should work. No, every company will have different products, different work strategy and everything. But what I mean by that is, when companies are valuing the engineers, when companies are treating their engineers well, their product becomes successful like most of the time. Even a founder once told in an interview that I have heard is, it takes almost the same or 2x more effort, 3x more effort to hire an engineer of equivalent quality in a company. So if your own, and also when they are going to come, they are going to ask for 1.5 times, 1.7 times, 2 times more salary anyway. So if your own employees are asking for small things, like let's say medical benefits or extra leave, or let's say some a little bit of raise, like let's say 20% more raise, 30% more raise, and you can see that your budget actually allows it, then most of the time it's actually a good idea to make sure that that employee is treated well. I do not encourage that okay, some employee came and is suddenly asking for 1.5 times their salary or 2 times their salary, and they are actually not worth it, they are not working that hard, or they are not actually worth giving that much benefits. That is fine, you can deny anytime. But in my case, what I have seen, most of the companies, they have an idea whether this employee is worth that much value or not, and they still choose not to give that much value only because of the fact that their own profit margin will go down. That's it, which is, I feel, is a very bad practice. Let's give you another example. There was a company in the past. When I resigned from that company, I did mention to the founder of that company that, sir, I don't think this practice is good, and there might be a day where you will reflect on this, and I don't think it is going to go down well. 1 month ago, I heard from my friends who are working in that company that the company's uh, biggest three client left that company, and they are not working with that company anymore. The reason is, the employees who were actually holding those big clients, they left the company, and the client said if those engineers are not working, then they will simply go to the company or directly work with those engineers who have left the client. So sorry, not left who had left the company, the client will directly work with the engineers who have left the company. This is how much a client values a engineer, or values the people with whom they are working. But if a company or an early startup is not valuing their own employees, then that simply means in the long run you are not going to get the benefits of loyalty. So this is what I feel is the biggest killer of success for startups. Let me know your thoughts in the comment, and I'll make sure to reply to all of them. And maybe if there is some sort of interesting point, then let's talk about that as well. What is your experience? If you are a founder of a startup or in ecosystem like this, what do you think? Let me know. I'll be delighted to know your thoughts. Thanks.